Hello, moviegoers and movie buffs. My name is S. Honeywood, and today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite movies of all time, and that is Donnie Darko. Writer and director Richard Kelly. His vision is amazing. Basically, this story has so many different meanings and messages in it. I'm going to be breaking it down into sections. As we begin our story, it begins with, of course, Donnie Darko, who is played by Jake Gyllenhaal. Now, as the story starts to lead into what's going to come, he's visited in his dream by what appears to be a dark, grotesque-looking rabbit who is standing upright like a man. He delivers to Donnie a message. He tells him the world will end in 28 days, 6 hours, 42 minutes, and 12 seconds. What we are asking ourselves at this point is, why is he telling Donnie this? Can Donnie prevent it? What is the reason that this entity has come to visit him? Does this dream have anything to do with what is to come? Oh, we'll soon find out. Now, as Donnie is being told this, he awakens. He realizes he has been sleepwalking. So each night he has been going into this phase where he sleepwalks and he's being visited by an entity who is actually just giving him information as we go. So because of his dreams, because of these visions, he ends up sleepwalking each night and then ends up in different places. During one of the times that he was out on one of his excursions, a huge jet engine falls through his bedroom roof and smashes into his bed, where he would have been lying and would have died had he not been out walking around listening to Frank, the 6-foot dark rabbit. As we journey farther down the rabbit hole, we start to get a little bit of an understanding of who Donnie Darko is. As we look into his everyday life, you will see and start to notice that he is more intelligent than even his teachers, his family, his friends. He has emotional outbursts, and he seems to be very frustrated with the fake and frivolous endeavors of all of the people around him. He doesn't seem to see things through delusional eyes or a fear-based philosophy. He just wants to get to the meat of it. He wants to understand, and his mind is expanding at a rapid pace. The plot thickens. And so Donnie Darko falls in love with a girl called Gretchen Ross, who is new to the school. She's kind of like the counterbalance to him in this story. Just as smart as him, she kind of puts him in his place sometimes, where his ego is expanding out of control. He does know that he's more observant than most of the people around him. And so Frank, that is the 6-foot bunny rabbit, finally reveals to Donnie that he has fourth dimensional powers. He can control fire and also water. This is very important because later on you will realize that flooding the school and burning down the house, which are acts of destruction, are really, a form of creation. Just like the book, The Destructors by Graham Greene. that the teacher was reading inside of the classroom. The manipulated dead, the manipulated living, and the living receiver. You will find these terms to be helpful because they are inside of the book The Philosophy of Time Travel, which is written by Roberta Sparrow, or Grandma Death. Basically, Donnie Darko is the living receiver, or the Christ-like figure, the one that receives the information from the manipulated dead, who is Frank, which we find out later on that Frank was killed by Donnie in one of his jumps through time, where he realized several alternate realities, and in the one where the insurance trap is set up. This is where they show that everybody dies, and the only way for Donnie Darko to save everyone in the story, in this one reality that happens because of the tangent universe, he has to allow himself to die like he was supposed to in the first place, in the very first dimension, which happened when the jet engine fell through his bedroom and crushed him in his bed. This is the insurance trap. Now, the manipulated living are just the people around. I suspect they are being manipulated by the Deus Ex Machina, or the God Machine, as well as the manipulated dead, who are just spirits who are guides. The other living receiver, which would be Grandma Death, she also went through some type of situation just like this. Is the reason why she wrote the book to begin with, which Donnie found and used as his guide through the whole movie. To sum it all up, in the end, Donnie Darko was the hero in every possible way. For one thing, he was all about truth. He could understand, he could see the truth, he could see reality. He was transcending in a way, and he was granted the power to do what was needed to be done. He was also granted sight. He could understand and he could see the paths of other people. He could see the path through God's channel. And he also exposed people who had very bad intentions. And to sum it up as the way that it ended, he was a sacrifice for all of those he loved. But pretty much, I think that he was transcending to another dimension. And he realized this, that there was no end. That's why he was laughing. And when he said those words, when the end of the world finally comes, I can breathe a sigh of relief, because there will be so much to look forward to. I think that shows you exactly what's going on in the movie. You be the judge.